Okay, thanks, Kara. Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful, that job title, isn't it? Okay, I should have put it on the front of the slide, but anyway. Now, in theory, if I... There we go. It does work. If I click on the screen, it should progress. So this is just an introduction to 321 Gang. So just a background for those of you who may or may not know much about what 321 Gang is about. So I can't really speak to most of this because that is their own stuff. But as you can see, we've been working together, IBM Rational and 321 Gang, for many, many, many years, probably 15, 20 years or so that I've known about 321 Gang, their previous instantiation as Rocket Gang. So they've got expertise in all these various areas. I'm not going to read the slide out. You can read that yourselves. But suffice to say that these guys know what they're doing. They really understand their stuff, and we're very pleased to be able to work with them. Okay, so I'm going to talk about medical devices and specifically the approach to medical device development that we promote through our continuous engineering products. But just to give you sort of background, and I'm sure this is stuff that you understand, but it's, you know, we understand this we understand this area. We've been working in it for many, many years. So what are the key things about medical devices that are different from some other industries? Well, the first and most obvious, of course, is safety critical. And as a result of its safety criticality, it's highly regulated. And the most common regulations that you have to conform with are those that come from the FDA in the US, the Food and Drugs Administration. But there are also a number of other international standards. In some cases, the FDA quotes those standards. Other cases, they have their own. And they're consistent. And of course, if you're trying to sell medical devices in any other geography, any other country, you will have their own regulatory body to conform with. Now, in most cases, these are consistent with the FDA regulations. So if you follow the FDA rules, then that doesn't say you will necessarily be able to sell anywhere in the world, but you have a good start. I'm not going to go through all the sub-bullets on these, but, you know, clearly there's a lot of stuff you've got to do. You've got to have a process and show that you're following it and so forth. What else is happening? Well, medical devices range from tongue depressors up to computerized scanning systems and all points in between. But the interesting thing in many ways is the fact that there's more and more software in these devices, and this has been the case over the past several years. Historically, even fairly sophisticated devices might have been mostly electronics or electromechanical, but most now include quite a lot of software. And certainly you couldn't do the scanning systems without using software. The whole basis of a scanning system is the software that enables you to create the images. But the electronic to customers, I guess they are in many ways, but certainly to patients, that in the past you could not do. These things could be implanted that used to be external. Things are now wireless controlled. You get wireless controlled pacemakers now, which was, you know, unheard of only a few years ago. And the fact that they're connected leads to all sorts of other questions that you need to be able to answer. Are they secure, for example? So I've taken a couple of slides here from a company called Frost & Sullivan, who published a report last year that was focusing on the way the healthcare market was shifting in general. And it's moving away, and I've highlighted two key blocks on this, from things that are where information flow is fragmented. Incidental information flow is almost accidental.